If you're new to jazz piano, comping can feel overwhelming, like you have to play on every beat. That can often sound cluttered and busy. What if I told you the real secret is to play less, only play the transitions that matter? I'm going to show you how to do that on the tune On the Sunny Side of the Street. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to show you the first way. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter-pat? Okay, there's the first way. Here's the second way. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter-pat? And so on. Can you hear the difference? The first one was technically correct. I didn't play any wrong notes. I played all the chords. But the second one gave a lot more space to a vocalist or instrumental soloist to play things. So I got this from listening to the Dizzy Gillespie version, 1952, I think. Great pianist Wade Leggy. Never heard of him. I looked it up. Anyway, he does a really good job of really outlining. He plays very minimally comping, but it highlights the changes in harmony. So let's talk about what those actually are, what those harmonies are. So by the way, if you enjoy this, I have a free download below PDF on blues changes. You can have some voicings, licks, things like that. You could practice these concepts on. So you can find that in the link below. So let's talk about these chords here. So the thing you want to stress is these 5-1 relationships. So obviously like the beginning is 5 to 1. So these dominant tonic relationships. Da 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 da. Here's another one that resolves improperly, right? E7 goes to F, right? So tension resolution. So that's really what we're trying to find is tension resolution, tension resolution. So that's really what we're going to highlight. And so the trick is to find these anchor points, these spots in the tune where you should play, where the tension and where the release is. So one thing to listen to is just find the words. I'm terrible at the words, so I have to kind of look them up. I'm terrible at memorizing words. Pretty good at memorizing music, but terrible at words. So grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worry on the door, right? There's space there. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Right, so I'm really filling in that space around the phrasing of the music that's already there, really staying out of the way. So go look up the words, that can help too. Also, if you just look at the harmony, right, is it some kind of dominant chord or is it some kind of just major chord, right? So if you look at it, C, E7, right? That's tension. F, just plain old F or F major 7 or something, right? That's a resolution. And then I put a C over G. Still pretty not a lot of tension, right? So I just skipped it when I did it. Right there, if I was a bass player, maybe. But I just skipped it. You can just leave things out, especially if it's not a really important tension chord, right? So, yada-dee-dee-dee-dee, right? G diminished or E dominant to A. Da-da-da-da-da. Very tension resolves. So the first time I played it, which might even be appropriate anyway, is this little turnaround I did. Because they're not singing anyway. So that might have been okay either way. Or you could just simplify it, right? Let's see here. But you could just do that, just a 5. Or you could do a whole turnaround thing. E, A, D, G, C. Right? You could do something like that. There's some space there. You could throw in a little lick or a turnaround thing. So that would even be appropriate in this more kind of sparse way of doing it. Kind of like a drummer would do a little fill at the end of the 8 bars to signal the repeat, right? That's kind of what you're doing on the piano, really accenting the form that way. So what else can you do? Okay, so you're going to identify these anchor points either with the words of the melody that it's already written, or look at harmonically, where is it kind of static or where it's not very interesting. Now this one's good because it has new chords every measure, right? If you're doing some other tune, like Bye Bye Blackbird, that's very static, you might have to add some stuff or add tension that might not otherwise be there, or you'll just not be playing anything. So that's another like tune to work on that's maybe a little tricky in that way. So what are some ways you can practice? Some other ways, you wouldn't actually play it like this, but think through the tune and then just maybe hit just the spicy chords. So it'd look like da da dum da 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 ba 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 dum dum ba da da dum da dee 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 da da dum da da dum bum ba dum bum 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 ba da da bum. So I cheated a little bit. Sometimes I caught my habit of playing the resolution, but just play the resolutions. Get used to not playing something. You could also do the opposite. Maybe just play the resolution chords. Grab your coat, da da da, da da dee 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 dee, da 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 da, dee 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 dee, da da dee 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 dee. That feels a little weirder, I think, but practicing just playing in these holes, getting used to following the form and just knowing where you're at, because it's easy to get lost when you start leaving things out and you're not playing all the time. You could also do that with a recording, so that would make it a lot easier. Just play sparsely behind, especially listening to great pianists that comp great. One thing that comes to mind is listening to Oscar Peterson play against his bass player. He leaves a lot out. It's really sparse. Now, Oscar Peterson often can comp behind people and get away with a lot. I'm reminded of like the Clark Terry recordings. He can like noodle and get away with stuff like no other pianist can. So I don't know if it's just the lightness of his touch, but he can play all this stuff in the background and he can kind of get away with it. But most people probably should just figure out a way to play as little as possible, just accenting things. And I think the person you're accompanying is going to love you much more for it. It's kind of a ego-less, less ego kind of style of playing. So what else can we do? Also sing. I think singing is super helpful. Either just la 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 or go get the words and try to sing it just like I did at the beginning. I don't do that very often. I should probably do it more. But if you sing the melody, you'll naturally kind of feel, where I'm like conflicting with myself. I had a hard time doing that first way because I was really playing over the top of myself a lot. And it felt much easier to sing when I left things out. So that could be an indicator too of kind of what to do. Sing and feel where it gets along. And then you'll be more inclined to listen whoever you're playing with. So that's pretty much my tips. If you liked this, I have a lot of stuff on my website, FrazierPianoStudio.com. This year I've been going through a new jazz standard every month where I've been going through the tune, the form, a bunch of strategies how to practice it, stuff kind of like this on every tune. Every tune presents its own unique challenges. And I've grown a lot as a musician just studying and learning a new tune every month. So come join me over there if you're interested. And have fun practicing this tune.